Hey guys, I think we're live. I think it's going live. It's trying. There we go. Let me turn off that Wi-Fi so that will not interfere. Last couple of little things to set up. Let me close that. Okay, I have a few too many windows going here. There we go. I think we're ready. Can you guys hear me? Do we have sound? Everything looks like it's there. Hi Gerald and Pat. And see Pennington. Louise is here and Lee. Judy, you did make it. Yay. And there's my second Pat. Pat U. I got Pat O and Pat U. Hi Elaine. Yay. I'm glad you made it, Judy. Okay, let me play the intro, guys, and we will go ahead and get started. And I'm sure there will be a few more people joining us, but we're just going to go ahead and get this part out of the way. Okay, no sound, Gerald? Yeah, reboot. Hey, Albies from Atlanta, not far from me. I'm in Hampton. Yay, I'm glad. I'm going to take a little sip of coffee here so that I can clear my throat. It has been a busy, hectic week, guys. I apologize that I didn't get this out on Monday. I really wanted to. They sent my desk. My island didn't come. I had broken a lot of stuff down. I had to reset cameras just to go live tonight because they sent me the wrong desk. Now I have somebody help me, and now I have to take that desk apart and pack it back up for them to pick up this coming Monday. I don't know when my other desk will be here. They took my island on a vacation. It was 10 minutes from my house, and they decided to take it from Locust Grove out to Alabama and then bring it back. And so it was supposed to be here today, and it's not here. So I have no desk, I have no island, and I have a big mess on my hands. But I was able to get everything set up good enough for us to get a live tonight. I apologize if the lighting's a little dark, guys. I didn't get the lights up because I had it taken me so long to get them set in the other room that I didn't want to move them. So, but things are going to get better, I promise you. I am working on everything. I'm not supposed to go live this Saturday. It's supposed to be next Saturday, so hopefully everything will be done by Friday and Saturday because we do our Close to My Heart on Friday. So you guys please just bear with me. I'm trying to get everything in order for you guys. Yeah, I've got just the screen up right now. So I just wanted to let you know that we are going to get back on schedule. We're going to get back on Mondays. We are going to get more merch. If you look in there, you'll see right now I still only have the one bag on the merch, but we are working on it. I just have the screen. You should be seeing Crafting with April. Put your heart in it. Monday, 7 p.m. Chat around the mat. That's what we're doing right now. And so because I don't have all my camera stuff set up. I am running on bare bones minimum here. Everything on my shelves and in my drawers and everything are sitting in my living room because I don't have any of my furniture. I have one piece and got it somewhat organized, but not near where it needs to be. So one of the things that we're going to be working on tonight, and let me just go ahead and go over to the other camera and show you guys, is the paper roses. Now these paper roses you can do on stems, but I did not design this to be on a stem. I designed this one to be in a shadow box, and I really didn't care for it, so I kind of tweaked it up a little bit and did some things different. But you can use this pattern for several different things and get several different looks out of it. And we'll cover a little bit about that here shortly. Now, I did use paper from Hobby Lobby for this. This is the Paper Studio. This is the Textured Cream Sheet Music. So you guys can see that. Hopefully it'll focus in. There it goes. That's what I used for this. And then for the leaves, I am using Paper Studio, but this one's 12 by 12. This is the Vintage Green Ornate. Vintage Green Ornate. So if you want to get the same papers to get the same look, you can, but I am going to go over and show you guys because Judy was asking. She's new, and she's not sure about uploading and how to print your own paper and things like that. So let's go over to the other screen and let me show you guys a little bit there. So I'm going to pull up, and just in case anybody doesn't know the download, if you've got 5.021, you don't see that offline on there, but when you go to save your project, it will ask you if you want to save to the, well, I'll just show you guys. I didn't want to do that. Let me just come in and upload. Browse. That's not really what I want to do. I'm not thinking. I just want to go to uploads. Upload. There we go. This is the file for tonight right here. If you are a Ko-fi or Patreon supporter, monthly supporter, you have access to this file. It is up on the website, craftingwithapril.co. It's there. All you have to do is upload it to Design Space, and then I'm going to show you what size to make it. For the size flower I did tonight, you can make it any size you want. That's the beauty of it. You can do whatever you want to do with this. But I will show you for the size that I did for tonight's flower. So if I were to put that in and insert the image, and then do a, I'm just going to do a save as, and I say Roses 1. When I hit save, it's I'm on the wrong one. Gonna select it right here. This is the download. I have both of them open, so it's kind of confusing. I'm gonna go to upload. Gonna select it. Maybe. And insert it. And I'm going to do a save as. And when you do that save, should pop up and tell me, nope, because I added to it. We all just learned something. If you're adding to it, it won't give you the option. It has to be a new file. So let me just go in here to a new file, and we'll just do a shape. And when I go to save, name it, test, save. Now I'm not getting it. Anybody else had that happen? Louise, Sue, anybody that has it, have you had it happen? It was asking me if I wanted to save it to the cloud or the cloud and the computer, and now I'm not getting it. Not working for me. I'm just going to close it out. I don't trust it yet. It's just me. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't trust it yet. So when you upload your file, it's going to come in grouped just like this at this size, and you can cut it at this size. I did test it at this size, and you can make one. It's going to make about probably a 2-inch rose, okay, at the size that it comes in. The one that I made is about maybe 3¼ inches. And the one to get that 3¼ inches, it was grouped together, and I made it 13 inches overall. So let me just undo, because I've ungrouped those already. It's gonna let me. Okay. More than one way to skin a cat. I'll just insert it again. So when you bring it in, just come up here and don't do anything to it and change it to 13, and you will have the exact size that I am working with right now. As you can see, same size. And then you can ungroup it and change colors, do whatever you want. So upload it and change it to get the size I'm doing tonight. Yeah, mine is the 2:1, and you just saw that it's not working. All of a sudden it just stopped working. It was asking me if I wanted to save to the cloud or computer or both, and now it's not asking me anything. So I don't know. Okay, so back on topic. Is Sue dancing again? I didn't see her dance. So if you wanted to do your own printables, and I was asked, Judy was wondering about this, and I showed her that you can get your printables over here, and I did order this. Once you pay for your file, you can come to your purchases on Design Bundles and hit download files. And the link for this is, it's $1.95, guys. If you guys want it, you get 16 digital papers. So it's in the description below the video. You can click on that. It will earn me a few pennies commission. I appreciate it if you guys do. But you're going to click on this and download the PDF zip, which is what they named it, and it's just digital paper. And once you've downloaded it, I am on a Mac. If you're using Chrome, it'll be down in your lower left-hand corner. You can just open that up right here. And now if I wanted to print one of these, all I have to do is double click it and say I want to print this one, and it's going to open up for me. And then all I have to do is go to my file and then print. And I can print that out, and I can cut whatever I want to out of that paper. I can cut on cardstock. I do have an Epson 7720. So I have it set up, and I've got my 12 by 12 in here. Whatever size paper I'm printing on, I can do that. So let's say I'm doing 8.5 by 11, which is A4. Is that right? I think letter is right here. So I can do that, and then I go to preview and my media quality, and I'm going to select best. You always want to select best when you're doing your papers. And then you can just print that. So I can print that and have it print out and go over to my computer, because this flower, guys, you can make out of lightweight papers, even copy paper, okay? Even copy paper. So you can use 65-pound or lighter or copy paper, whatever you want to use. Print your own. So that's what you can do with these digital paper files. And I'm printing one off right now just so you guys can see. And then I put that on my mat and cut it. But there is another way. So once you've downloaded that and you have your files downloaded, I'm just going to close this out and close this. Oops. I want to stay on that page. I want to close this page. Say I want to make these petals printable instead of just cut. Right now I'm printing the paper and I can just cut them out of that. But what if there's a pattern in Design Space? I can ungroup it, and I can come in here and go to print. Then where it says color, I'm going to go to print type, and I'm going to select pattern. And then I'm going to fill that with a pattern. Okay? And it's going to put that pattern in there, and then I can edit it and make it as big or as little as I want so that I can see what it's going to look like. I can rotate the image and rotate it on the piece. Lots of things that you can do in here with your print and cut. So how do I get that music in there? You go to upload, and instead of uploading an image like you do right here, Judy, you're going to go to the right and upload a pattern. You're going to browse, or you're going to drag and drop. I don't need to browse. It's right here for me. So wherever you saved your file to, you're going to open that up. And then when I double click on mine, it's right here because a Mac automatically unzips. You may have to right click and extract your folder, but I can select that music and drag it right in, and you see that it brought it right into here. And it's going to ask me to name it and tag it, and I'm just going to say design bundles. This is the way I tag mine, sheet music, and that was number 13, so that I know which one it was. And then you're going to tag it. So this could be Christmas, it could be religious, it could be wedding, just whatever you want to name it. It could be birthday, tons of things, arts and entertainment. And then I'm going to say this is a distressed, maybe even a sophisticated, and vintage. So that when I go to search for them, when we get a search option, they will be marked and ready. And then you're going to select your color. And I'm just going to put in here, this one is, I don't know where the browns are. There's the off-white. I think that's brown. I'm going to select those, and then I'm just going to hit save. I'm done. You upload it as a pattern. I just uploaded that. Now they can take a few minutes depending upon how large they are. So you have tons of things that you can do. Yeah, you have to download it from Design Bundles to your computer, and you may have to right click and extract all if you're not on a Mac. Or double click on it, it should open. And I didn't rotate this and portrait it out and all that like I wanted to, because I just wanted it to print. But I could have printed this the other way, edge to edge, no, nothing on there. And then I could have just cut my pattern out of this. So let me switch camera so you guys can see that. That would help. So here's what I printed. And like I said, I didn't rotate it and put it edge to edge. If you do all of that and set your paper up, it will print the whole thing. But I did mine on 8.5 by 11 instead of 12 by 12. But you can just put this on the mat and then cut your flowers right out of it. Or you can put it in there and have it print it, then cut it and get everything that you need. Super simple, super easy to put patterns into your... It didn't switch. Now? Did it go? Shoot. I told you guys I'm running on bare bone minimum here. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, there it is. So you could just put it on the mat, cut your pieces out of there. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how I'm trying to work here, guys. It's really bad. So you can put it in there, and the reason that you want to do it in patterns, and I'm fixing to show you, and you can see how large and scattered this is, but if you upload it as a pattern, let's go back over, make sure it changes. Yep, there, yep, yeah, there it goes. Okay. So now you see that you're just back on this screen. So once it's uploaded, that's going to go away, and this is what you're going to see. You're not going to see it down here. You don't see where patterns go. They just go into space. Okay? So I'm just going to hit cancel. And I'm going to come in here and select my piece. And again, I'm going to go to no fill. I'm going to hit print. I'm going to select my color and change my print type to a pattern. And I'm going to be looking for that music pattern that I just uploaded right there. And I wish I had moved that. Well, I can still do it. And it's going to place that in there. And again, patterns can be pretty slow sometimes because they do take up a lot. They're PNGs, okay? And they take up a lot of space. We're just going to give it a second here. There we go. And you can see how it tightened up on here, but it's tiled, so we can go in and we can work with that. I'm going to bring it down here so you guys can see it. And let's go and let's edit that. Oops, got to select it. And then go to the edit pattern. And you can watch it as we do that. And you can see that it will change. I can make it bigger, smaller. But with the flower, this tiling really isn't going to matter because the way your paper is going to be cut and you're going to be doing all sorts of things to it. But you can see how you can change that up and tighten it up. I can even rotate it should I want to and get that music on those petals just like I want it. Okay, so tons of things that you can do, and you can even get it like you see it changed just then and got a little bit tighter in there, and you can't control that just by printing it. When you just print it, it cuts where you lay it out on the mat, and it is what it is. It's the way that it printed. But when you do it as a pattern, you can go in and you can make adjustments and do different things to it that you can't normally do from just cutting it out of a printed paper. So did that clear that up for you, Judy? Lots of things you can do with these. So now let's go ahead. Did anybody else have any other Design Space questions? Because we always answer questions. If you think of something, just let me know. We'll answer them. The mods will answer them. If we need to show you on screen, we'll show you on screen. I want to make sure that everybody fully understands. Okay, if you are a monthly supporter, you did get this file. It's uploaded and it is available on the website craftingwithapril.co. If you are not a monthly supporter, you can get it tonight only if you do one-time support on Ko-fi, and that's www.ko-fi.com/April. And you can send me your receipt number or confirmation number where you supported on Ko-fi and your email address that you used, and I will send you the file. After tonight, you will have to become a monthly supporter to get this file, or you can create your own. And I'm going to show you the shapes and stuff and how I did these, so you'll know how to make it if you don't want to do that. I don't know if that will stay. There's the Ko-fi address. There you go. Thank you, Sue. So let's go over and put this little puppy together. Well, not a puppy, but a flower. And making sure we changed over. Yay, we did. Hey guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Get your name in lights. It'll flash up on the screen. Can everybody see this okay, or is that better? I don't have really good lighting in here. I apologize. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's not too bright. I don't want to blind you by it reflecting off the paper. So you've cut your file, and the first thing that we're going to do is do some inking, because this is not double-sided paper. Now that's another thing about printing your own paper. You can print it on, but put it back in, print it on the other side. But we have a fix for it, not a big deal. And if you want to make your own file, we have like teardrops and hearts And where's that other one at? Butterflies. And then you can weld things together and get your other shapes. So, very easy to do. I am using some Close to My Heart inks, and this is a pigment ink because it gives me a little bit more time to work with it. And the first color I'm going to do is Pixie, because this paper has a little bit of pinks to it. Even though it's cream, it's got a little pink tint to it, and I wanted a little more. And of course you can use any color inks that you want. And all I'm doing is taking a dauber, and if you want these inks you can get them at Close to My Heart, craftingwithapril.com. And I want these smaller pieces kind of dark on the back because these are the inside of the flower, and we're just going to dab those. Now the front, I want to go darker on the smaller pieces, and as I go to the larger pieces, go a little bit lighter. So practice inking, play on some paper, and get it like you want it. There's no right or wrong way to do this, guys. It's all in what you like. The color's not supposed to be solid. It's not supposed to be consistent. The petals are not going to look identical. They're not in nature either. But I'm just dabbing on some color. To those. And then I'm going to start, I have two pieces here that are like hearts. And same thing. One of these I'm going to do really, really, really dark. And cover a good bit of the front. And the other I'm just going to do the front edges sort of dark, but I'm not going to go all the way into the music. And then the same on the back. Just going to go a little bit lighter than I did on the other. And the reason I'm using a pigment ink is because for me I have a longer working time than I do with the dye-based. And then we have piece number with the 3. Looks like a clover. You just have one of those. And I'm just getting lighter as I go. Because these are the outer petals, and the outer petals are going to get lighter as they go out. It gets darker towards the center. And then you have one that looks like the butterfly. That's the 4. You're going to need a flower tool or a candy making tool, whatever you guys have. The ball stylus tools. You'll need some of those, but I have alternatives if you don't have them. It's not a big deal. And we're just gonna ink all of the edges. I almost did some of these ahead of time, but I wanted you guys to see the process, especially if you are new. And then these are the 2 5 petal. And it doesn't matter if some of the petals are darker than the other petals. Doesn't matter. When you're cutting these, be aware if you're using the Paper Studio papers. They did, I don't know why they do that. To me, that's just ridiculous. They print Paper Studio and what's on the back. You guys saw that. Make sure that that is not in your cutting area, or it's going to end up on the back of your flower. You may not care, may not bother you, but I didn't want it on the back of mine, just so you know what I mean. When I cut mine, I made sure that this was at my bottom right corner, because I didn't move the pieces around. I didn't tell it that I needed 8.5 by 11 paper, because at this size it cuts right up to the 11-inch, not quite to the 11-inch line, so it's not a big deal. So I didn't even have to change the paper size for this flower. If you're doing more, you'll want to make sure that you're putting in your paper sizes. And this is also going to give it kind of like a watercolor look. I bent it. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to bend it up worse in a minute. And you can see that it's not consistent. You don't need it to be consistent. It's going to be more like watercolor. So that's that one. And then you have the two leaves. And I am using the Close to My Heart Julep on this, and it's also a pigment ink. And I want pretty good coverage on the back of these, because it will be seen if they take it off to keep it, if it's a tag or whatever, you're going to see a good portion of that. So you want to ink it pretty good. The front, well, I just tossed it in the floor. There we go. The front, I didn't really ink that much, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of added color. It's pretty good in color already. And I did do one a little bit lighter than the other. And that's all there is to the inking. And you do not have to ink. If you have double-sided paper or you don't mind it being white on one side, that's fine, but it will show. Okay? You will see it. Oh, thank you so much for helping, Pat. Yeah, I love print and cut. I wasn't keen on it when I first started either, and then I'm like, hey, man, this is so much easier and it looks so much more professionally done. So you're going to need anything that's got like a rounded end on it, or you're going to need, these are cake and candy making tools, the ball stylus. And then these are actual flower tools, and they come in different sizes. I got these off of Amazon. And you're going to need a flower pad. Now there is one for Cricut, but they don't have the ball stylus, and I can't find it. Like I said, I have a big mess going on. But you're going to need this. If you don't have one, until you can get one, you can use a mouse pad. Just something soft under your flower. Okay? And then you're going to take your leaf pieces, and I like to use a pretty big one on this, and you're just going to start pressing down, putting some pressure on it, and following it around your mat, breaking that paper down and giving it a cup. You want to get a pretty good curl on it. And then I just take this, you can use a ruler, you can use your scissors, you can use a pencil, whatever you have, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of a gentle curl on it, or I should say a deep curl on it, not a gentle curl. And I do one that's completely curled under, and set that to the side. That's the way it should look though. Once you start breaking it down, and then do the same with the other. This big one goes a little faster for the big petals. You can change the size of these guys. Make them any size you want. Just size everything together and you'll be fine. And then the second one, I try to give it a curl to the side. So I'm just kind of giving it a curl, and then I'm kind of doing it at an angle to get that different curl on it. And then I'm going to do this at a totally different angle. There we go. So that when I put those together, then they're not all identical. Okay. And then we're going to start with petal number 1. And this is the way I do this. If you want to write this down, you can write this down. And I'm going with my darkest one. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's how I remember to do these. And I even write it down so I can refer back to it. But that's how I do my flowers. And I'm using a single petal, which is the 1, and I'm just curling both of them, just getting a curl on it so I can get it started. And then I'm going to roll this pretty tight. Give it a tight roll. And you can roll this either way that you want, with the pink outside or the music outside. I think I want to do the music outside. So I'm just going to curl it back the other way. We're just going to make a little bitty cone out of it. Just so you guys can see, I'm just rolling that up. See if I can get close enough. My finger's in the way. It's a tiny piece from my hands here. We're just rolling it. And then this outer edge is coming down right here. And I'm just going to let it relax just a little, not a lot. And then I'm using, you can use hot glue if you want, use what you want. I'm just going to take a little dot of glue. I'm using art glitter glue. You can get it at artglitter.com. And I want to kind of keep that rolled pretty tight. Okay, so there's 1, and that's our number 1. And then our next number was 2 petals. And I'm going to curl this one back to the right, and then I'm going to curl this one in the same direction so it looks like an S. Okay, you guys see that? And then I'm just going to take this leaf petal right here, just a dot, just a teeny tiny dot of glue, and I'm going to just pull it over loosely and tack it down. Give it a second to dry, and then you can see how I've got this piece coming over. I want to put the top. This is the top. Don't worry about the jagged end at the bottom. We're going to take care of that in a minute. I don't like it there. I put it here. Yep. So right there in the part that I didn't, I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue right there. Just a little line, just enough to hold it. And we're going to place this with the top up towards the top. Just going to hold it there for a second. You want it to be laying in that little cradle right there, just below the top, because this is creating your rose center. I'm going to give that a second to dry. And then you can leave that loose, or you can just take just a little dab of glue. Play with your paper. Get it like you want it, so it looks the way you want. And now we're going to take another single petal. And then I'm just rolling this one just like this. And then I'm going to pinch, fold and pinch right here so that it pops over. See if you guys, see if I can get it to focus in. So I rolled that over and then I pinched it here to make it pop over. And don't worry if it's perfect or if there's a sharp edge, you can fix it here in just a minute. It's not going to hurt a thing, okay? So right there in that cradle, first, before I glue mine, I like to take and look at it. Oops, that's upside down. And I kind of like that right there. I like that too. So I'm just going to take and place a little glue in the where I pinched it. And then we're going to bring that in and lay it right there. Just going to hold it for a second. I'm not really pinching it or anything. I just laid it the way I liked the way it looked, and I'm just holding it down just for that glue in there to take hold. So we did 1, 2. Now we're doing 1, 1. We're going to do another one in the same way. Just going to lay that down and let it be drying. And again, I'm just going to curl this one back. And then I'm just going to bring it to the front, and I'm just going to pinch it. Now if your paper won't pinch and it's giving you a hard time, take your Boss stylus and just run it right there. Break the paper down just a little bit so that you can get that fold in it. Just let it pop over like that. That's what it looks like from the back. So we're just making petals. Judy, this is the thing I do. Nature is not perfect. No two flower centers are the same. My flower centers are never the same. Really, you see that piece popped out. I'm just going to pop it right back in there. I don't pay too much attention to it. I really don't. I have learned, don't overthink it. Go with it, play with it, pinch it. If you don't feel it's tight enough, you can roll up another piece. It's still not too late. And you can stuff it down in there. Just roll it up tighter and stick it in there. You can change the way your centers look up to a certain point. So now, and don't worry about all this down here. You see, that looks really crazy on the bottom. I know it does. It doesn't bother me. Not going to hurt a thing. And I'm going to show you why. It doesn't even matter. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here where I folded this one. And I'm kind of going to set that not really off to the side, but off to the side just slightly. And I'm going to let that dry. I'm just kind of pinching it in here because this is going to get folded back. So that's why I say I don't worry too much about them. It's going to be fine. So I just pinch them up and it's going to start to open up, you'll see. So now we've done 1, 2, 1, 1, and now we need a 2 again. So that's another one that looks like a little heart. And I'm just going to take and roll. Instead of rolling this one, we're going to roll this one different. The first one we rolled to the back and then we rolled forward. This one we're doing both petals to the back. Try not to tear your paper. And then I'm just going to almost fold it right in half. Just pinch it. Okay? That's all I did, pinch it. Doesn't have to be exact to that point. I don't make mine exact. I do every one different. Some of them I might go further to the right, some further to the middle, but I just give it a pinch in there. And then a little bit of glue. And then you can see that I have one here, one here. I'm going to put this one on that opposite side. We're just going to pinch it. Just let it sit in there and dry. Like so. Don't want it to go that far out. I tore my paper right there. Don't tear your paper. I don't think it'll be seen. I know it's there, but nobody else does. But I'm just pinching them up. And now we're going to go to number 3. And again, I never curl them the same. I just curl whatever I feel like. If I want it to go straight back, if I want it to go to the curl to the right or left, I just curl them, guys. And then I'm just going to fold this one up and then fold that one up. And then I'm going to pinch that one down the center so that it gives me some play. Almost kind of like wadding it up, but you want to make sure that you got some curl on the back of those leaves. You can even curl it both ways, like on this one, and then pinch it up like so. Different things. And then this one I am going to place on this side, opposite of the last one that I did. I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the middle. And I use these for tags, for shadow boxes. You're not going to be taking these out and playing with them, or, I mean, you can put them on a stem if you want to. These weren't designed for that. All you have to do is punch a hole in your centers here, run your stem through one and curl it so it won't come out. Put this on the top of the other one, and then the rest would all be the same. We're just going to let those sit there and dry. Now we're going to number 4. So we did 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and now we're on 4. And these do take a little bit more time than your rolled flowers, but I like individual petals. Personally, I just do. Now here's my little trick on these. On this one, I'm going to give it a little snip right there, and you can do a V cut, you can do just a snip, whatever it is. Depends on how your flower is forming. but I want to be able to get that one in there without tearing it. Okay, so whether you want to cut a little V out of it or just a little slit, that's totally up to you. Just kind of dry fit it. Because they're all going to be different. And then I just give it a fold in between. And we're going to the opening. And if you feel a little bit of stress on your leaves, you can do a little snip in between if you need to. So that one's going to go right there. And I just put glue around my V. I'm just going to hold it there for a second. Don't worry if it doesn't look like much now. We're going to fluff it out here in just a minute. I'm going to give it time to dry. I twisted it. There we go. Make sure your petals are in between the two as well. I twisted that one. I had to pull it apart. There we go. That's better. It was still wet, so I'm good. All right. And now you're on to the 2 5s. Is everybody with me so far? Now this paper was not uploaded. This paper was from Hobby Lobby at 65 pound because I didn't get my paper until after I had already bought this, so I went ahead and used this. But I believe this is a 65 pound. That's what it feels like. But you can use copy paper, puppy. This is just slightly heavier than copy paper. So if you've got a good quality copy paper, it will work just as well if you're printing. Nothing fancy for these. You don't need anything fancy. I think I gave $1/4 a sheet for these when they were on sale. Then I'm going to try to dry fit that one in there, and that's a little wide, so I want, and you can see this is what I mean by wide. If I put that in there in that opening where my 4 was, it doesn't fit. See how far it sticks out? So I'm just going to cut a V. So I've got that little tab right there in the center. I'm just going to fold that to the back so you can see it better. And then that way it'll allow me to get that closer into the center, if that makes sense to you guys. And then again, fold in between each petals. And I'm not giving that a hard fold. I'm just kind of rolling it. And I'm not really creasing the paper much. And then we're just going to stick that right there. See how it's formed a cone in the center, and we're just putting this 5th piece right up around it. I just want it to get in there and stay. And the same thing with this one. I already know that I'm going to have to do this one because I had to do that one. And that's why these are not pre-cut in the file, because you never know where you're going to have to cut them. If you just need to make a little slit, or if you need to cut a V, there's no way for me to tell, because it's going to depend on how you curl your paper, how you put your flower together, again, they're all going to be different, and I just tore my paper. I'm going to ink it where I tore it so it won't show, since this is an outside. Kind of look like a aphid ate it. I don't know. Just be a little bit more gentle than I am. There we go. Just curl all your petals, and you're just kind of breaking it down. Don't worry too much about the curl. Again, once you get it together, you can work on some more of the curl. I'm going to dry fit that one opposite of where that one was open. And that looks pretty good. Twist it so my petals are in between. I'm just going to hold that for a second. So starting to look like a rose, guys? Yeah, I'm about to show you how you can do these with the stem. I'm not going to actually do a stem, I'm just going to cover it and tell you how you would do it. So I'm just going to let that net sit to dry because it's pretty soft right there with all that wet glue. And I prefer wet glue, and you're about to see why. If you use hot glue, you're going to have to trim as you go. But I don't have to do that with these. So if I were going to put these on a stem, I would slice a hole in one of these. I would run my stem with it twisted so it won't go all the way through here. And because you're going to wrap with floral tape up to that. And then I would probably hot glue this piece on top of that so that you didn't see the stem itself. And again, you're going to do your floral tape all the way up to the top. So that's a given, just like you would any other flower stem. But I'm not doing that with these. And then you would just, when you're going to complete this piece just like you normally would, and then you're just going to glue it right to the top. So I've given that a minute to dry, and then I am going to take my scissors, and I can't find my big scissors, maybe there they are. I am going to clip off that point, okay? And if you have any pieces that may be loose or you feel like they might come loose, you can just put a little dab of glue, but it's not going anywhere. It's together, it's paper. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on this one. And then I'm going to glue these two pieces together with them opposite of each other. And you can offset them too if you want. I may do that so more of it shows out. If you're putting them in a shadow box or on a tag, you might want to do it that way. I think I will do this one a little bit different. So that's the thing. You don't have to do the same thing every single time. So I'm just going to hold that there for a minute. Give it a sec to dry. I got glue on the bottom of that, but that's okay. Put some glue on the top of this one. I just wanted some more of the leaf to show on this one. See, this one doesn't show as well, but I can flatten it out and make it seen. And if you're going in a shadow box, you want to keep that base pretty flat, so you may even want to trim off more. If you're going on a tag, not really going to matter. Give that a second to dry. And while that dries on the bottom, I'm just going to start fluffing up my leaves and seeing if I need to curl anything anywhere. If I want to add a little bit more curl to a petal, I go in at that point. and give it that little bit of curl. So I'm going to fluff that piece up. You can even put glue dots in there if you want. Some foam dots if you want to really push it up. It doesn't really need it though. But basically, that's it, guys. And then you can just place them on a ribbon with the hot glue or foam dots, whatever you want, for a package. How pretty is that? Now this one's not dry, but this one is. And then just to give it that little added touch, see if I can get a little more light on this for you guys. I use Nuvo drops, and this is the Morning Dew. It dries clear. You can use Glossy Accents. Glossy Accents has a tendency to yellow. But you can just take the drops, and if you have crystal clear hot glue, you can use hot glue, but it's not as consistent and it can get stringy. But I just do a few drops here and there. Maybe one on the top there. Just a little bit of added touch. And you can do as little as you like, as much as you like. You can even put one on the leaf. And then just let that sit and dry. And I'll show you on the other. This is the Morning Dew Crystal Clear Nuvo Drop. And after it dries, it kind of looks like dewdrops on your flowers. It may not pick up well on camera. You can see a few of them there. Give it that little bit of added something to it. But that's how I do it. And you can see these aren't exact. One of them has a tighter center than the other. Just play with it. Get it like you want it. Do it like you want. This one has a little bit taller center. I could even trim this down with scissors at this point. The Nuvo drops you can get at scrapbook.com. I have a link, but it's not going to let me post it in here, I'm pretty sure. There, well, maybe. It may show up and it may not. That's scrapbook.com. You can get them there. You can get them on Amazon. All the links for these are below, down in the description too. You can get them at Blitsy. You can get them from Tonic Studios. Yeah, different, just like nature. That's why I say don't worry too much about your centers. They're all going to turn out pretty. You can work with them. You can squish them. You can mash them. These type flowers and paper are very forgiving. The worst case scenario, you have to cut another petal. Rip it off there if you don't like it and cut another petal. But you can see they're still both really pretty. I did a tighter center on that one than I did on this one. Loosen up your papers, roll them around, spread them out. You don't want them all the same size, because I can cut this the size that I did it, and I can come up with 3 or 4 different size flowers and never change the size of the file. And it's just going to depend on how tight or how loose you put it together. There is no wrong way. And if you mess up, you can probably get 3 flowers out of 2 sheets, 50 cents. So if you don't like them and you have to throw them in the garbage, because I have done it before, I'm like, ugh, I don't even like that, and throwing it in the garbage, I'm out 20 cents, you know? So just practice with some copy paper, guys. Cut it out of copy paper and practice rolling it and doing that before you use your good paper. And that's going to give you a way to figure out, cut a couple of them and do it and say, hey, I didn't like the way I did this, let me change it, before you get to your pretty papers. Yes, Catherine, it's just like crochet. It's going to depend, because 4 people can do a chain, and all 4 chains look totally different. The Nuvo drops, no, Elaine, they sell stickles. They sell Ranger stickles, and you can get those at Close to My Heart too. But they don't sell Nuvo drops. Nuvo drops are a premium drop. You have to get it from somewhere like Blitzy. Some of the scrapbook stores sell them on Amazon. Tonic Studios, they all have them. I haven't seen them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or any of your box craft stores, unless they just recently started carrying them. So does anybody have any design space questions? Before we go, some of you know that I do Close to My Heart. Some of you don't. Let me bring that up and show you. I am hoping I already know it's not going to be here for this Friday, but it will be here for next Friday. So Friday looking up my calendar right here, we are going to get that open. Maybe. Let's see, it won't be here the 4th. I'll figure out something for this Friday. So we'll be live Friday at 7. And I think we'll do a card. I think we're going to do a card Friday. October the 11th. October the 11th, when we go live on the 11th. We will go live on the 8th too at 7. So Friday the 4th, Friday the 4th, Monday the 7th, live at 7 p.m. On the 11th at 7 p.m. we're going to do Close to My Heart, and we're going to be doing these. Let me see if I can find it. These are going to be really cute. They're awesome. We're going to be doing these shaker tags. They made these available now. Usually the Christmas stuff is not going to come out till November the 1st. But these are shaker tags. So you can get these while they're on special. We're going to be doing these on the 11th. And then we will also be going live on the 12th at noon. So those are the dates, life permitting. Friday the 4th, Monday the 7th, Friday the 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Saturday the 12th at noon. Those are our upcoming dates. Yeah, Louise, these are super cute. It comes with the shakers, all the stuff that you need to do these. This is the kit that I got, was the holiday ornament kit. My throat is drying out. Sorry, guys. You get the 10 shaker windows, 8 shaker window ornaments, 4 of each design. You get the confetti is sold separately, and the thin cuts, they're like $4.95, so they're not a huge cost. So you will need those. Or you can, I may set up something on the computer where you can cut something on the computer and still use those. But these have like the stitched edge on them, so you're going to want those. But you get all of this. Everything comes in it. The only thing you don't get are these thin cuts. And I will show you. That's in this kit. You can do any of them. But that one comes with the stamps. Both sets of stamps. All of that. I just had that number and missed it. Right there. You can get, I think they're $4.95 each. That's the wrong thing. And I still typoed it. Right. It's not giving it to me. I'm having one of those days. It has been really, really, really crazy the last 2 weeks. I know it's there. I thought it was on this page, but evidently not. There we go. I wish they would make that a clickable link right there. Yay! It doesn't like the parentheses, right? Ta-da! Oh, they're $21.95. I saw something $4.95. I don't know what I saw. Oh, the extra shaker windows. That's what it was. $4.50. But here are the dies. Now you can do these. These are probably already in Design Space because they have the Close to My Heart cartridges. So, but these just make it simple, super simple and super easy to make shaker cards and everything else with. But they're just circles, so if you want to cut that part on the Cricut, we can do that. So those are going to be on the 11th. Card on the 4th. Cards on the 4th. That on the 11th. And I may do another flower on Saturday. Or Monday. Monday. I might do another flower next Monday. So does anybody have any questions? Anything at all? Any Design Space? Close to My Heart? Cricut? Infusible ink is available on Cricut.com now. It's not exclusive at Just Michael's anymore. In case you guys missed that in the announcements. You can get it at Cricut now, so you can use your access discounts and your group discounts. All right. Well, if you think of any questions, anybody, or you forgot to ask something, don't forget to come over to the groups and ask us, and we'll help you from there. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Ko-fi supporters, Patreon supporters. I appreciate all of you. Again, if you are not a monthly supporter and you want this flower file, you can support, do a one-time support tonight and email me and you can get it, or you'll have to become monthly after tonight. So you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on Friday.